The indie hacker movement built itself on radical transparency. Share your revenue, share your code, share your failures, and the community will lift you up. That was the promise. But now, something strange is happening. The most successful founders in the community, the ones who prove the model works, are going completely dark. They're deleting their MRR updates, scrubbing product URLs from their bios, and disappearing from the very platforms that made them famous. And it's not just indie hackers getting cold feet. Even the biggest players in tech are suddenly hedging their bets. Nvidia just walked back what was supposed to be a $100 billion commitment to OpenAI, calling it never a commitment in the first place. Today, transparency is on trial. Let's break down what's happening. For years, building in public was the defining philosophy of the indie hacker movement. Founders on platforms like Indie Hackers, Twitter, and personal blogs would share everything: their monthly recurring revenue, their growth experiments, their failures, and their wins. The idea was simple. Transparency builds trust, attracts customers, and creates a supportive community that helps everyone succeed. It became almost a badge of honor. If you weren't sharing your numbers, you weren't really part of the movement. But over the past year, a quiet shift has rippled through the community. Founders who once championed radical transparency are now going dark. They're deleting historical MRR updates, removing product URLs from their social media bios, and retreating into what some are calling stealth mode or ghost mode. The pattern is clear. Once founders hit around $10,000 in monthly recurring revenue, they start going quiet. Some wait until $30,000 MRR to remove all traces of their product entirely. Francesco Di Lorenzo, co-founder of Typefully, explained his reasoning bluntly: you have to defend your business the best you can while you're still growing and consolidating it. Continuing to publicly share our MRR didn't help that. He noted that copycats are no longer an issue for Typefully, specifically because they've built a solid product with a $42,000 monthly entry barrier. But not everyone has that luxury. This matters because it fundamentally undermines the core promise of the indie hacker movement. Transparency was supposed to be the competitive moat. The theory was share everything, build in public, and you'll create such a strong personal brand and community connection that copycats won't matter. Your audience knows you, they trust you, they'll buy from you, not some faceless clone. But reality has proven more complicated. As one founder put it, the copycat problem became so prevalent that we ended up with directories of boilerplates, directories of MVP agencies, and even directories of directories. When you publicly validate that a product makes $10,000 a month, you're essentially painting a target on your back for every opportunistic developer who can clone your landing page and undercut your price. The irony is brutal. Building in public works best when you're small and struggling. It helps you get attention, build community, and stay motivated. But the moment you succeed, the moment you prove the concept works, it becomes your biggest liability. Success, it turns out, should be kept quiet. The community is now debating new thresholds and playbooks. Some suggest stopping income sharing at $10,000 MRR, while others advocate waiting until $30,000. The emerging consensus seems to be share the journey when you're starting out, but protect the destination once you arrive. Expect to see more founders adopting a hybrid approach, sharing lessons and frameworks, but keeping the specific numbers and product details under wraps. The days of radical transparency may be over, replaced by strategic opacity. Speaking of pulling back on commitments, this tension between transparency and self-protection isn't just playing out in indie hacker communities. It's happening at the very top of the tech industry too. When even Nvidia, the company that has benefited more than perhaps anyone from the AI boom, starts hedging on its biggest AI investment, that's a signal worth paying attention to. Back in September, Nvidia signed a letter of intent to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI. This wasn't pocket change. It was designed to be one of the largest technology investments in history. The money would help OpenAI build data centers with a capacity of at least 10 gigawatts of power. That's equivalent to the peak electricity demand of New York City, all equipped with Nvidia's most advanced AI chips. But this week, the Wall Street Journal reported that the investment plan had stalled. According to the report, some inside Nvidia expressed doubts about the deal. Jensen Huang, Nvidia's CEO had privately emphasized that the $100 billion agreement was non-binding. The report also suggested Huang had privately criticized what he described as a lack of discipline in OpenAI's business approach and expressed concern about competition. When asked about the report, Huang called it nonsense, but then immediately clarified that the investment was never a commitment. He told reporters in Taipei, "They invited us to invest up to $100 billion and of course we were very happy and honored that they invited us, but we will invest one step at a time." That's a significant walk back from what was announced just months ago. Yes, Huang said the potential investment could still be the largest investment we've ever made, but could be and will be are very different things. This matters because Nvidia isn't just any company. They're the primary beneficiary of the entire AI infrastructure boom. Their chips power virtually every major AI model being trained today. If Nvidia is getting cold feet on a $100 billion AI infrastructure deal, it sends a signal that even the biggest winners in AI are starting to question the economics. Investors have been increasingly concerned about the circular nature of AI deals. Here's how it works. Nvidia sells chips to AI companies, then invests money back into those same companies, who use that money to buy more Nvidia chips. It creates an artificial loop that can make demand look stronger than it actually is. Huang's hedging suggests that even Nvidia recognizes this can't continue indefinitely. The broader implication is a potential reality check on AI capital requirements. If the company most invested in AI's success is saying let's take this one step at a time, it may signal that the era of unlimited AI infrastructure spending is coming to an end. Watch for how other major tech investors respond. If Nvidia is hedging, will Microsoft, Google, and Amazon follow suit? The next few quarters of AI infrastructure spending will be telling. Also keep an eye on OpenAI's fundraising. If their biggest chip supplier is stepping back, they may need to find alternative sources of capital. The AI boom isn't over, but the era of writing blank checks might be. Here's the question I keep coming back to. At what point does protecting your interests become more important than the transparency that got you there in the first place? Whether you're an indie hacker hitting $10,000 MRR or a $100 billion chipmaker, the calculus seems to be changing. Openness has costs, and everyone's starting to count them. If you want to stay on top of these shifts in tech and AI, subscribe. There's new analysis here every day. See you in the next one.